Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Book Set Completionist. We're at episode 30. Wow, another massive milestone. No. 50. 50 is where it gets really impressive. This is just one of those in-between episodes. Nothing special, right? Right. Today I'm reviewing two novels by South American authors, and I'm revealing this, a trilogy. What is it? A trilogy published between 2017 and 19 by a man who has written lots of other works of fantasy, trilogies and other works. Yeah. And this one is about a girl, a sister, no less. So the trilogy is called The Book of something. Yeah. And there are colors in the titles, and, well, two of them. And, well, it's about a sister. Did I say that? I did. Okay. Well, Mark Lawrence is the author. His trilogy about a sister. Okay. I'm talking about The Book of the Ancestor. Now, what is that? It's this. It is this. The first one, Red Sister. Quite large. It's not until you're broken that you find your sharpest edge. Look, a girl with a sword. Okay. Then, Gray Sister. The girl still has a sword. And finally, Holy Sister. Still with a sword, but also some magical stuff happening there. So there you go. Now, this is fantasy without a map. What? I know, right? Gosh, how could he? But alright, I guess not every fantasy story needs a map. I just like maps. Yeah. Nah, never mind. Alright, let's see what I read this time and if it was any good. Right. The good book was this one. Isabel Allende with The House of the Spirits, published in 1985 in Spanish, then translated later so that the global audience had a chance to experience this book too. And it is, well, what is it? Historical fiction, kind of. It doesn't really take place in, well, it does. It takes place in Chile around the years 1870 something until, well, about 100 years later. It covers the lives of 3 or 4 generations of a family, so it does take place in in the real world, in a real country. Although it's not explicitly mentioned in the text, we kind of have to know from context where it really takes place. I suppose it could have taken place in any, well, South American countries. That does become clear. But okay, if you know a little bit about history, then you'll, especially in the latter half of the book, you'll figure out really where it really takes place. The genre here is described as magical realism. There's not real magic taking place. It's just that some characters may have a little bit of like supernatural talents. It doesn't really play a large role in the story. And the title House of the Spirits is also not really something I would recognize from the story. Yeah, there's a house. Are there spirits in it? It sounds like a haunted house. Not really the case. So yeah, it covers a family at first. They have a couple of daughters. Then one of these daughters grows up, and the story focuses on her. This daughter then, yeah, there are spoilers, okay? The daughter grows up, gets married, has her own daughter, has 2 more sons. Then her daughter gets another daughter, okay? And then finally we arrive at the present day. Well, 1975 is really where it ends. Not present day at all. but okay. Culminating in the events in Chile in that time, where there was the assassination of a president, followed by a coup. Well, that was the same thing. And then a dictatorship by a guy called Pinochet. So that really took place, and that's um, sort of the climax of the story. But until then, yeah, we'll get to know these characters. We experience their happy moments, sad moments, their dramas, their love. One main character is the father of the husband of the first girl, who then turns to be the father of the second girl and the grandfather of the third girl. His name is Esteban Trueba, and he is a really, really bad character. He is abusive, stubborn, just not the kind of guy you want to have in your family. Really violent, awful character. But okay, people are like that, and the author does a good job. Now he's not like old, terrible. He has a lot of flaws, but deep down inside him, he also seems to have some redeemable qualities. But yeah, you probably will not see those. You will see the abuse. Yeah, it is there. So it's not an easy read. It's very dense. The text in the book, I mean, there's dialogue, but overall, it's structured not like many novels I've read. It's really bang bang full of text. Each page is full of text, so but you get a lot of worth out of your book. So was it good? Yeah, it was good. Um, it always captures me when I read about families and their struggles and how they move on to deal with all the things that are happening to them. Yeah, I wish there had been like a little bit more of real history in the first half of the book. It's all about the characters. Just goes on. There doesn't seem to be a real plot. It's just about, okay, these people meet each other, they get married, they have issues, and yeah, that is interesting in a way. But the real plot happens more in the latter half of the book, where things in real life history start to sort of condense into a nice ending. Yeah. So if you like this kind of thing, family sagas, lots of drama, then this is for you. And it was for me too. Yeah, it was good. Right. And then there's this, The Valkyries by Paulo Coelho, written in the 80s as well, translated later. Yeah, this was. Look, I've read The Alchemist by that same author. I did not enjoy that book. He, in this book, refers to himself as the author. He mentions his book in the first couple of pages, saying that I wrote The Alchemist and it was an amazing success. That's in there. Now, what's this? The Valkyries, well, if you know a little bit about Norse mythology, then the Valkyries are these female characters who sort of descend from heaven or Valhalla when soldiers are dying, fighters, warriors are dying, and then they go up to heaven together with these people. And also they sort of try to motivate and inspire these fighters to do their best. Yes. That's what Valkyries are. So is that here? Is that in this book? Not really. The book is about Paulo Coelho himself. He goes on a spiritual mission with his wife to the Arizona desert in the US. There he meets a gang of a biker gang, that's it. And these are females, and they call themselves the Valkyries. So why is Coelho in the desert? Well, he's trying to communicate with his angel. He's a deeply spiritual guy. He even calls himself a wizard. He believes that he has magical, powers in a way. But he has a master. He is learning the trade of magic, and he believes angels are real and that he can see them and talk to them, but he just doesn't have that ability yet. And so he goes into the desert to meet with these women who are supposed to tell and show him how to meet and see and talk to his angel. And then he also drags in his wife doing the same thing. Oh my God. Okay, so it's about himself. It's autobiographical. Now, I'm not so sure if that's a, if you, it's not nonfiction. It's not a real story about somebody's life as is, but it's a fictional story about himself. So I didn't know that. I usually don't know anything when I start reading a book, but it's no, no, just no. Also, I'm not a spiritual person. I'm not a religious. There's a lot of Christian references in there. There's a lot of stuff in there that doesn't strike me as feasible at all, or just, okay, you know, nothing in fiction is feasible really per se, but this is just nonsense. Sorry. Yeah. So it also reveals what Coelho is like as a person, because he wrote it himself, and I suppose he makes himself look real. Okay, he's flawed, he's uncertain, he's insecure, he's in doubt about himself and his wife and his relationship, and oh my God, it goes on and on. And he's very rude and mean to his wife too, it shows. And Coelho wrote that himself and he published it. He reveals himself to be an asshole. Yeah, sorry, but that's what I thought. So yeah, no, not for me and not for you. If you're anyone like me, then no, this is not for you. But all right, it's there. I stopped reading Coelho now. It's not something I expect to get any better. But all right, there you go. Okay, that's it. A good book, a bad book. But all right, the good book was worth it. The bad book was just an interesting experience nonetheless. Good. Right, thank you for watching. See you next time.